most respected CEO for the past 4 consecutive years, Chairman Park Kan-gil. Let's welcome him to the stage. Good afternoon, everyone. How was Chuseok holidays? The Atomy Business book was introduced just now. You don't have to hold it. Just memorize everything in it. People who began their business, they sometimes don't know what to say to the people. And you can memorize the content in this book. You can show the book at the beginning, and as time goes by, you will naturally just memorize them. It is not long, and if you want 100 million won a month, you have to you have to make effort, right? Memorize them. It's not taking a national test. You just have to memorize this little book. I think it's a fair deal, right? Everyone. I think words become the reality sometimes. And I think that's really correct. So our words are very important. What you say could become a reality. My friends from school, my friends are asking me about how I became chairman of ATOMY. How did you become one? I use my mouth. I use my words. So I use words. I used words to found this company. So words are very important. In fact, I had nothing when I started ATOMY. I was a company worker for 17 years, and highly advanced industry was something that I was envisioning. And that is how I started this business 25 years ago. In 1999, I founded IamKorea.com. Internet Mart Korea was the name of the company. I wanted to rule this internet markets. Was it good? Was it a good result? Yes, it was the best in Korea. Back then, Samsung had one, LG had one. But the number of products on my website was more than theirs. And 70,000 was the average, and I had more than 100,000 in my product lines. That was the shopping mall that I created. The problem was I was too ahead of time. The light cables were not there, but I started internet business. So I was too overboard, I think. People were not able to click them so fast, click the mouse so fast. In Gyeonggi-do province, there were some projects ongoing for light cables. Internet speed was too slow. And back then it was just like that when I started my first business. It lasted for 3 years, and it went down. It fell down. So I realized back then that what we do is important. However, what is more important is how we do. That's what I realized back then. So I want to tell everyone, in this era, what kind of tool do you want to use? You have to determine that. You have to make a decision. That is very important. For example, in downtown, you wanna open a shop. Will it go well? Will it be successful? The existing shops are all falling down, are going down in downtown already. So that's the current situation. If you open a shop, there's a high possibility that your business fails, unless you're very, very good at something. So you have to make a choice. and you have to go with the flow of the era. That's what I want to recommend you. So my business went bankrupt, and then I realized that I have to go for something that doesn't change with the times. So cosmetics, toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoos, they have existed for a long time, and they will last for a long time from now on as well. I That was my thinking, and I have to be very good at it. That's what's most important. So I do logistics, I do distribution. I sell everyday life products. The quality has to be great. The quality has to be the best, and the prices have to go down. And will it be successful in that case? Of course it will work. So for example, toothbrush. So toothbrushes are everywhere in department stores, every market there are toothbrushes, right? And I found each and every toothbrush and brought everything, and I used them.
And I picked one of them. So maybe I can use this toothbrush for the rest of my life. And I went to see the owner of the company that manufactures the toothbrush. It was sold at 2,201. Even now, when you go to the discount market, it sells at like 2,000 to 3,001. And I wanted to sell this product at 1,001, and that's what I proposed to the owner. And now we are selling it at 1,201. And the owner said, I cannot even make that with that money. And I told him, imagine we sell this 10 million a year, and maybe you can calculate the unit cost. And he said there was only one model of toothbrush, Lucky 777, that were sold more than 10 million a year. But you shouldn't pretend you know this. It shows that you're quite an old guy. Anyway, so this Rocky 777 was the most popular one in Korea back then. And that was the only model that was being sold more than 10 million a year. So what he meant is that we can never sell a toothbrush 10 million a year. But I told him I will make sure it will be sold more than 10 million. Let's think about how we can reduce the unit cost. And I told him I'm going to give the money for the unit cost in advance. And so I asked him how many cavities are contained in one mole, and he was surprised at my question because he expected that I don't have that knowledge about the such technology. And I told him to increase the capacity by 4 times, and I asked him how much ounce are you using for the mold injectors, and I asked him to change that and buy the old machine, not the new machine, and I suggested that I pay for the machine but not changing the design, because if we change the design, it takes time to change the mold and it's all expenses. So until the structure of people's mouths change, we will never change the design. So if people's mouths change like that of the dog or some other animal, we'll change the design. But until then, we'll never change the design of the toothbrush. So that's how I could minimize the unit cost of the toothbrush. So even after 1 month's use, it doesn't wear down. So some people are using this toothbrush for many months. So after a month, you need to change to a new one. Don't save on this to protect your teeth. So anyway, that's how we can sell this toothbrush at 1,200 Korean won. Have you seen any other toothbrush that sells at 1,200 that can last for the more than 1 month? It's really cheap, right? So Atomy is selling at absolute quality product at absolute price. We are selling toothbrush more than 30 million a year. There's no other toothbrush that was sold this many in Korea. What about toothpaste? We are number one to be exported among the medical products. LG Healthcare, Aegon, Amara Pacific, if we compare to all the other products, toothpaste products, in terms of exports, Atomy toothpaste is number one in Korea. Of course, what we do is important, but what is even more important is how we do it. About MLM, I know there are many people who have bad image about MLM, but in theory, there's nothing bad about multi-level marketing. In 1992, when I first visited Australia to sell automobile components when I was working for a company, I heard about this concept, MLM. How? There was a cosmetic that's made of aloe, and it was quite good when I used it. It felt good. So I asked about the price, and the price was not that high. I thought I could afford it. So if I could be satisfied with the price and quality, I can introduce the product to other person, and if that person is also satisfied with the quality and price and introduce it to other people. So if the chain, I get the commission instead of the ad fee. So that's the commission I get from the MLM industry. Is there any problem with that? No, not at all. So in theory, there is no problem with MLM. But there are some companies that are using this concept in a wrong manner. For example, like the electric mat that has some magnets, I think we can make that at 80,000 won. So I can understand that if they only get like 300,000, but they are selling these products at 3 million won. And with that, the commission is paid to the seller. So every consumer who buys the product becomes the victim. So basically, you're getting the commission from the money that you invested. But Atomy is different. We are not taking money from other people's pocket. So it's the same money that you buy for shampoo or toothbrush or toothpaste at the discount market, but the price is even cheaper than that. So it's beneficial to the person who buys and the person who introduced the product to other people. It's also beneficial for these people. That's the basic theory of MLM. There's no issue with that, right? So people who are selling that high price magnetic mat is harming the concept of MLM. And one of the MLM company owners are imprisoned, like Mr. Zhu, I guess. And the other one was in Daegu, and I think he escaped to China. Some people say he's already dead, but it's not sure. So what those people did is, so invest 10 million. But this way it will be against the law according to the Financial Act. So first, it makes people to buy 100,000 won worth of product at 10 million. So this is not technically against the law. Then every month you can get 1 million for the next 15 years. So after 15 months, from the investment that you made, 10 million, you can get 50 million won. So if that's the end of the story, it would be okay. You earn some, like 5 million, but the problem is that when you get million won a month, and for the next 15 months, you can get 1 million every month. So after 15 months, almost no people have that 15 million. So as soon as you get 1 million, you make investment again. So the next month you will get 1.1 million won. So the following months you invest the money again. Then the next month you get like 1.2 million. So after you make 10 million investment, you get the commission, and with that commission you make the investment again. And during that process, the company goes bankrupt, and the chairman goes to the prison. So this is totally a fraud business. Because of these cases, there is bad reputation over MLM, and some people commit suicide. They commit suicide not just because of themselves, but because they get all the money from their relatives, from their family members, and they go bankrupt. Because when you make like 10 million investment, you can get 1 or 2 million commission from that, and you seduce all your friends and family and relatives and take all their money, and all of them goes bankrupt altogether, and this kind of people commit suicide at the end. But ATOMY is totally different. We have totally changed all this structure. So that's what ATOMY is doing right now. So there's this Fair Trade Commission in Korea that supervised these business activities, and they gave a award to ATOMY. And the commissioner of the Fair Trade Commission recognized me as the excellent business owner, and we received that award. And the person next to me on the right side is the commissioner, and I received the award. So even when we got the Export Tower Award from the president, I didn't really go there in person. But when I was receiving this award, I went there. So the commissioner of the Fair Trade Commission is like the prosecutor for taking all the bad guys in the industry. So if we are to receive the award from this commissioner, it feels like I'm getting an award from the top prosecutor in the world. And there's CCM, Customer Centered Management certificate. And we received the certificate for the 6 consecutive years for 3 times. This is really a difficult one to get. Why? Even if there's only one complaint received by the Fair Trade Commission, we cannot get the award. So from millions of companies, only a few received the CCM certificate, and ATOMY is one of them. And ATOMY could achieve this because from the beginning, I had this vision to make ATOMY a respected business, the top class company. That's what I declared from the beginning. And to be number one in every field, that's what I declared from the beginning. So at the beginning, I focused on this number one philosophy. So be number one in terms of product quality and number one in terms of price affordability and be number one in terms of the size of the company. And I really wanted to achieve this, to be number one in terms of the number of high income earning business members. I don't like the color, the design. So I didn't have any employees back then, so this is what I made by myself back then. Anyway, among 500 distribution companies, we are number one in terms of the stability index. The liability ratio, there's no other company that has low liability as ATOMY right now. 26.9%. Some people might say, oh, still you have liability. Maybe you don't have knowledge about the accounting. So when we say we don't have liability, it means that we don't pay any interest. And when we get the product in the warehouse, then the product is accounted as our products and we pay the cash in 1 week. And that amount of the product for that 1 week is counted as liability.
And you make purchases and you make the deliveries. And how about the rewards? Maybe 1 week, 15 days. That is also debt because it's not paid yet. And we hold the cash. So that is ATOMY. So among the revenues, sales revenues, the rewards that will go to you, we are holding them as cash. So it's daily. It's daily clearance system. It's really clearing out. We don't have that at all. We can just make the rewards go. So that is the system that ATOMY has. So when it comes to stabilization indices, we are number one in ATOMY. We were number one in Korea. That's how this accomplishment happened. Of course, flexibility ratio is top four, number four, but the top four have very similar figures. So comprehensively talking, we have the biggest stability indices. So based on the financial conditions or status, we cannot go bankrupt. We will be the last company to go bankrupt. Okay? Stability wise, we are number one. So anyways, at the beginning of ATOMY, we were envisioning number one, becoming global company. So that is what we were talking about at the beginning as well. And when did I started saying that? When I was riding a carnival, second-hand carnival, I only had a few people in the seminar, and that's when I started envisioning this. Back then, in my company, within the company, I didn't even have money. We as a company didn't have money to go fly to the US. No flight ticket. And it was 2 million Korean won for a second-hand carnival car. Because as I told you, my first business went bankrupt. And back then, I had a lot of debt. And the remaining money, yeah, I will pay you back. If not, I don't know. So gave I gave the debtor everything that I had. So I had to take the bus, take the subway, to take care of the stocks from my fallen down company, and my fingers were broken back then. So I still have broken fingers. They're not broken, but they're not working very well. So I met a lot of people, explained about the products and sold them. So I think it was 1 million that I got as profit by selling the products. So I went through I was on the subway and it was very hard to just carry all the products all the way. So I earned 3 million won to get a car, and I wasn't able to find any car that I can buy with 3 million. So I went all the way down to the local area of Korea to buy a car. And this car dealer asked for 3 million won, the amount. So I told him, Mister, I have 3 million, but I have to go back. I repeated I repeated this for 4 hours straight to explain about my situations, my financial situations. And then he was saying, I bought it at 2.8 million. Just get it then. So I bought this car at 2.8 million. And going global, sales number one, and the reward, and 1 billion with the forklift, everything that I said has become a reality. It happens. It is possible. So everyone, I'm telling you, what I want to tell you here is you have to use your tongue. You have your tongue, right? Use your tongue. On a ship, on a very huge ship, there's a key at the back of the ship that determines the direction of the ship, the whole ship. And our tongue is the key. So the direction will be determined based on the key, the tongue, when it comes to our body. So even to our kids, to our children, if you say, what are you going to do when you grow up? You have to grow up, be mature, and your kids will become that. So don't say things that are negative to your kids. When I was very young, my mother told told me very good things. But in my neighborhood, a lot of other dads to their own sons are, you're gonna ruin your own life, etc. And they actually were not successful, the kids. And my mother was very different. You're very kind, you're a nice kid, you're very honest. When I was running errands for her, I never cheated. I never took away even a coin because I knew that if I did that, my mother would give me the coins, give me the remaining the left money to me after the errand. So saying good things, I think is very important. So there, it could be, it could not feel real for now, but you have to make a declaration, declare it. That is very important. So at the very beginning of this company, I was chanting a lot of different things, and even donation, we're number one. From 2021 to 23, compared to our sales revenues, the ratio of donation is number one in Korea. I think we should be proud of it because it's donation, it's for society. The great place to work in Asia, top two, number two in Asia, and number one in Korea. I think the number one is in Saudi Arabia, I guess. Maybe the princess in Saudi Arabia were doing some business. So that's the result that I got. Our employees made votes. And the most respected CEO in Korea, multi-level marketing, the CEO is being respected for 4 consecutive years. That's amazing. I think that person will become Emperor Master. That person who shouted just now. So those crazy people, those people who are insane, become impaired masters from my experience. So we make declarations. That is the point. The things that I mentioned at the beginning of ATOMY, they're more than, they're realized already. They have become reality. Another one, another accomplishment, $300 million of export tower. And another one, Hemohim, for 3 consecutive years, health functional food export product #1 as an export product. Best seller in Korea. The best, #1 best. We just made a declaration that we go #1. Another one, another accomplishment? Absolute Cosmetics, our products. #1 in beauty sector for 5 consecutive years within the same industry. At the beginning of the business, people were laughing at me. These cannot work. But now, I'm more Pacific, LG Cosmetics, LG Life and Health. There are a lot of commercials from them, but we are selling better than them in cosmetics industry. Another accomplishment? Our toothpaste plush. We are export product #1. So if you take a look, our export ratio is for 43. No, it's not 43. 13.5% among total export volume. And LG, Amore Pacific, and other brands are following us among quasi drugs. So, quasi drug export #1. So we just made a declaration that we go #1, and we became #1. And in your life as well, you declare that you will be imperial master. You have to declare that to become one. Okay? So my philosophy, going #1. When I was talking about this philosophy, imperial masters here at the seats. Did you believe me? Did you believe in that? I'm saying these have become reality. Some people, some of the imperial masters, they didn't calculate at all. They just followed me because they were insane. But most of them, most of others didn't believe in me. 2030 network marketing industry #1. That is the declaration that I'm making now. #1 currently is Amway that we respect so much. And by 2023, we declare, because they are 10 trillion and we are 2 trillion. So we can just go 5 times to surpass Amway. So before Chuseok holidays, for 2 weeks, there were leaders workshops, global workshops. What kind of workshop? We have to become #1 in each country. If we become #1 in each country, and we will become global #1 collectively. So I asked them, do you think you can become #1 in your country? They say, of course, we can do it. So then give me some plans, action plans. So there were presentations by them. They're all saying that we are confident that we can do it. And we made promises. I made promises to them. The current employees, we don't want to increase the number of employees, but we make our sales revenues 5 times, and your salaries will become 5 times naturally. That is one of my promises. My words become a reality. The salary right now is not low. Korean headquarters average salary is 100 million per person. So it begins from 60 million, and 100 million is the average, and 5 times 500 million. And among them, there could be ones that get more than that, a few times than that. The CEO gets 500 million, still less than Imperial Masters. 5 times, then 2.5 billion. I think that's fair. I don't think there's any problem with that. Because contractors get a lot of money and employees are always behind the scenes, working so tirelessly. And what do I have to do for them? Salaries. Make the salaries 5 times bigger. They made recordings. I made promises. But I'm very scared to say words because words become reality. 5 times the salary. Now it's official. I'm making an official declaration. I have to honor my promise, right? However, don't worry. Maybe you're worried that your rewards could lower down. You don't have to worry about it because our employees are so capable and the portion of labor cost is only 2%.
So if we increase the sales revenue by 5 times and still is 2%, is it from your commission? No, it's from the sales revenue. We never touch your commission. Don't worry about the commission. You shouldn't worry that I will take out some money from your commission to give it to my employees. So there was premise to this. I will not increase the number of employees, but still this is possible. We'll increase the sales revenue. We are using the computer system to get the sales revenue and manage the money. So when we increase the sales revenue by 5 or 6 times, it doesn't mean that we need to increase the number of employees. We don't need to hire any more employees. Still, it will be more easier for employees to work. We renewed the data system. So without that sophisticated data system, we cannot really manage the Linux system of the 50 million members. So we need to operate this huge server, and we are operating the global logistics. And we have like more than 40 warehouses across the world. And for each category, each item, we need to manage the inventory and we need to give the information to the production line and we need to take the record where this is going, whether it is in transit, whether it's being unloaded from the US port, where it is going through the expressway, in which country. We need to take all these things and record. So the whole world should be managed with the system. So to be able to do this, we need to have a huge investment in the data system. And we already made that. I'm not asking you to do this. I can see some people are worried about this. You don't need to worry about it. The company has already done it. So what you need to do is really simple. What should you be doing? I will be the Imperial Master who earns more than 100 million won a year. And I will do this business. Let's do this together. I'll also make you the Imperial Master. And the products are like cosmetic products and daily necessities. And it's the top quality. It even got Sejong King Award. I'm not going to explain what Sejong King Award is. It will get really long. So it's even greater than Chanyeongshil Award. Korea is the #1 country in terms of the number of invention patents, and only the #1 from the 100,000 different products get this Sejong King Award. You know, Korea is the powerhouse of shipbuilding, semiconductors, airplanes, Still, there are so many patents in these different fields, and among them, cosmetic product got number one. This absolute cosmetic product you have is number one from the patent office in Korea. European cosmetic products, really expensive ones, where the beautiful models advertise. I will tell you a secret of this industry. Do you believe that those celebrities got beautiful skin from that cosmetic? No. This is top secret. These celebrities, those models, they were beautiful the moment they were born. So it's not because of the cosmetics. So maybe you think it's expensive, so it should be really good, but it's not. The ones that are really expensive, like 100,000 won from the duty-free shop you find in the airport, like 30 to 40% are taken by the airport. And the celebrities from the commercial, they take like 30%. So almost 70 to 80% of the money you give to the cosmetic are not really for the products. But we don't have commercials, we don't pay for the rent in the shop. So with that alone, we can reduce the price by 1/5. So some people are mistaken that if the price is really high, then the quality should be high. But we don't have all those mobiles. We increase the good active ingredients. We are using the best ingredients. So we are only investing money for the ingredients that are good for your skin. Then the rest of them is given as the commission. That's how we can sell a very good quality product at a good price. That's the system of ATOMY. Don't you think you need to do this business? It's worth trying, right? You cannot be really successful from operating a shop in your neighborhood. Some guy said, when I become successful with ATOMY, I'm going to open a shop. Some shop owner and restaurant owners say, is your business going well? Yeah, but it's so exhausting. I want to quit it. So even if it's going well, it's really difficult to maintain that. And there's the doctor from ATOMY, and he was a really smart guy, and he's doing all those proctology surgeries, looking at people's ass. And this guy, fortunately, is operating the proctology clinic, and at the same time, he's doing the ATOMY business. So the smart people will all come to ATOMY to do business here. So number one goal is to be number one in Korea, and number two goal will be number one in the world. So 10 trillion is not our ultimate goal. We'll become the hub of distribution. What do I mean by this? ATOMY will be the channel for all distribution industries. We have E-Mart, and Walmart, Amazon, Alibaba. So we're going to surpass all these companies and become number one? Yes. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Why? The toothbrush, they cannot be sold at a cheap price in discount market because without the commercials, they cannot be sold well. The popular brands of toothbrush and toothpaste. They have all these different categories and they cannot do the mass production, and they change the design, but they need to change the mold, and the unit cost is going up. But we have the set mold, and it can be automatically produced 24/7 every day a year. I was in the automobile industry before. I was the automobile engineer, so quality control and factory design. I'm an expert in these fields. So manufacturing factories, I gave some proposals to them, and that's how I could reduce the price. So we are not really squeezing those suppliers, but we are suggesting better ways of reducing the price for these supplier companies. Your words are really important. What you say is really important. It's directly related to your thoughts. So how you think shows your life. So our life is composed of our words. It depends on what we say. That shows your life. So what words you use will change your life. And ATOMY is the prime example for this. You should read some books about success. Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Successful People. Put first things first. There are some books like that. You need to be reading these books. And See You at the Top is one of the books you need to read. You need to do some study. I told you I was not a smart boy when I was in school, so you're not studying. I was not the brightest boy at school, but after I graduated, I really studied a lot. So I read 250 books about success. So in this field, I think I can call myself an expert. I studied a lot about this. People suffer from relationship with humans, and you should read Carnegie about the relationship. And there's one better than that, Bible. Love your neighbors as your own and serve others all the time. If you practice this all the time, there will be no problem in your relationships. It's because you're not studying about the relationship, you have problems in your relationships. So at the beginning, I told people you don't need to study, but there was a reason for this. Because there were a lot of people who wouldn't do study even if I told them to do so. And I just wanted them to spread about ATOMY, but nowadays, I think many young people who study quite a lot are also coming to ATOMY. So I'd like to ask them to study more. And I see some people who never study, even if I tell you to do so. Yeah, there are some successful leaders who got successful without studying, but if you are determined to do ATOMY business and if you have some experience from studying, I recommend you to study. And the reason why you study is not to use the knowledge. So it is to organize your thoughts and ideas. So as you read the books, you can organize your thoughts. So this book becomes the source for your ideas, for your knowledge. And based on that knowledge, you need to organize your ideas and thoughts. That's the one of the most important purpose of reading books. So when you go to a bookstore, you will find all these different books, Adam Smith, 10 Natural Laws. If you look at these books, live and learn and love and contribute, balanced life. You will see all these ideas. You will find all these concepts from the book. I studied from the book, and that's the message I'm giving to you. So people admire me. They think that it's all from my own brain, but it's something I read from this book, this concept of balanced life. Back then, I was not that famous or popular, so I didn't tell people that I read it from book. But nowadays, even if I tell people I read it from the book, people really admire and respect me. So I'm telling you the secret. So you should be reading those books and get the ideas and apply them in your own life. So what is important here is your thoughts, your ideas, and your words. If you become the Imperial Master and earn 100 million a month, you believe that 100% that this will happen? Not, maybe not. Sometimes you will believe that, but in some other times you will never believe it. How can I earn 100 million won a month? But there's this system at ATOMY, and now we are living in the era of AI. Many people get fired from their company, and this daily necessities distribution business. Maybe this will be the thing in the future. So maybe I should start this first so that I can be prepared for the era of AI and I can get all those fired people. And if you start this business first, not only Korea, but you will see more people from the world.
I'll be in Kyrgyzstan in next week. If you go there, there is not many jobs. So a lot of them are coming to Korea, and when they hear atom business, they think it's amazing. Even in China as well. I think 100 people approximately came from China today. So after graduating from college, the the employment rate is very low. So a lot of young people, I think, will be joining the business in the future. I want to say I'm very reassured that we have atomic business that we're able to introduce to these young people among the total population of the globe, 8 billion. I think still we have a long way to go. A lot of people still have to join Atomy. A lot of foolish people are saying that Atomy is too late if it starts right now, but that circumstance was already there at the beginning of the business. I think there's a person, I think the membership number was, I think it was 50 something. And this person came to me and complained, Chairman, you want, you are giving me this number, this late number to start the business because the total membership was about 100 people and this person was complaining that I'm in the middle of the total membership and this person left. And when the membership was over 1,000, this person came to me again. I should have started back then. So I said, it's not late. You can start now. The membership is over 1,000. And I said, it's not too late. Start it. And then this person left. And the membership was now over 10,000. This person came again. The membership is over 10,000. I cannot start now. It's too late. 100,000. The membership, on and on and on. And now this person doesn't visit me anymore. This person is foolish. I told this person to leave. Don't do it. So There's not even 100 million membership yet, and some people are complaining about the late membership, late number. And then within 1,000, within number 1,000, there are some who have not reached auto sales masters, and over 1,000 there are roller masters. So it's not in order of membership number. It's not what you do. It's not how you do it. So it's not too late for you as well. Instead, you have to study much. This little book, this is not even thick. If you cannot memorize this book, you cannot proudly say that you have studied. It's only the it's only the essence of everything. You have to know each and every detail of this, okay? So it's being sold at the entrance. Buy the books, okay? It's not even expensive. Buy the books and give them to your partner, saying that we have to study together. So make sure you study the details, okay? So many people are interested in fortune telling and the good fortune, and many people are saying fortune is 7 and my effort and functions is 3. 7-to-3 ratio. And whenever I hear that, I'm very annoyed. The most important thing here, everyone, is not the timing. It's not the time you're born and the fortune telling. Your face, your looks is more important than your fortune, the actual fortune of being born. The more important thing is the physiognomy. And more than physiognomy, the postures of your body. Even when you look okay, some people have bad postures. So we need good postures. And people with good postures are better off. And even more than our body, our mindset, our mind status is more important. So our heart, our mind is more important. And that is number one. Our heart is determined by our words. So everything, every status and everything is ultimately more important than everything is the words. So words conquer. So I think we have to make a declaration right now. And we have to make it a habit of declaring things. I was about to say something, and I'm gonna ditch the topic. Something caught my interest, caught my attention. Maybe you will not believe it. Do you want to hear it? Well, I'm a pastor at church, and there's a church called Tegero, and there's Pastor Son. And the school of Lee Seung-man, the founder of our country, the school is being established by the church. I think the establishment costs 8 billion won, I heard. And on YouTube, this pastor was giving prayers, and next year in March we have to open this school. So this summer, please, I wish there's no rain, and I wish there's no single day that we don't do construction work. And I was worried because I'm also one of the elders at the church. And this pastor was giving prayers, and I thought I was quite worried about this pastor because God cannot control everything, right? God cannot control each and everything in our life, like rain and natural disasters. So what if there's hurricane? Already pastor made declarations. I was worried about this pastor. And this summer, there was no hurricane. There was no typhoon in our country. One of them went to Hainan Island, and one of them went to Vietnam, Hokkaido. No typhoon came to landed on Korea. It's not a Christian thing that I'm talking about. It's not one of them. But hearing those things and looking at things that have happened, I thought it was very weird. So humans have spirits, so we have spiritual power. So maybe that's not something that I can confidently say is correct. Maybe there is a typhoon coming all the way up here right now as I speak. Maybe. So that's why I told you I'm not gonna talk about this because it didn't make sense. After I actually talked about it, I think it doesn't make sense. I don't give those kinds of prayers as an elder. As an elder at the church, I serve the neighbors. I follow what God says. I need humility myself. So I'm going to deliver the gospel. So I don't do things like the pastor did. So you are all going to be Imperial Masters, right? Some people are not answering. I told you, use your tongue first. You're all going to be Imperial Masters, right? There you go. Declaring is important. I know being an Imperial Master is not going to guarantee, I mean, maybe less than 1%. 99% of you must be saying that it's not possible. Still, you shout out that I'm going to be an Imperial Master. So when you meet people, when you talk to people, an important thing is you say to them, I have started a business that they can make me earn 100 million a month. 99% of myself don't believe in myself, what I'm saying, but still, you say it. And people around you don't believe in you as well. Still, say it. Okay? Continue this over and over, making declarations. And one day, maybe there is 1%, because even around me, there are some who have achieved this goal. It's not that only the most capable people become Imperial Masters. I can do this too, maybe. I become Diamond Master, Shamrose Master, and 10 million won a month. I become one of the Leaders Club members, and the likelihood goes higher and higher. And maybe, as a person who is just starting, has 100% confidence, that's no way. No person would have 100% confidence in what they say at the beginning of what they're starting. So, if for you, if there's any one person among you who think it's less than 0.1%. Maybe there is 0.1%, right? There's no one who's raising hands. Look at these people. People, look at this. Look at the master Kim Kwang-yeol. He was almost kicked out of his own house by his wife because he was not making money for the household. When I first saw him, the membership fee, the participation fee was only 30,000 won, but he didn't have that money. He's working as a surrogate driver, and he was actually working as a equipment driver, as an alternative heavy equipment operator, and then he failed in everything. So that's why he found this ATOMY business. And next to him, he used to sell fish in the traditional market. So I asked him, "Why did you sell fish?" I actually majored in fishing. The college that I went to was fishing college. At the beginning of his business, he wasn't able to do heating in the winter. So the floor of the house was so cold that he had to walk like this. That's why I introduced this business, right? Even these kind of people, even this man became the master. And so you have to be very confident because you look at your current conditions or situations. Your situations are better than his because these men became imperial masters. You can also become one. So don't say it's impossible. You can be one of the imperial masters, okay? And how can you become one? Say the words, okay? Speak it.
I started Atomy business to be an imperial master to earn 100 million won a month. I started the business to earn 100 million won a month. And let's do this together. I'll also make you to be the imperial master and earn 100 million won a month. You should do that. Do you believe this? Yes? No? Even if you don't believe this, you should continue to do this. Even if you don't truly believe in this, you should keep saying this. Then your life will change depending on the direction of your tongue, depending on what you say. So all the things, your spirit, your idea, your heart, and your mind. How can you believe in yourself? What should you do with your mind, your heart? Don't believe in your heart what your mind says. Just make sure you say about success. So people around you should be saying you're crazy. Then it is an indicator that tells you you are on the right track. Because all the successful people, they were crazy people. Addison and Henry Ford, people were calling them crazy. All the successful people were saying crazy things. So people who heard from other people that they are crazy got successful. The reason why you're not successful yet is that people around you are not calling you crazy yet. I was on the second-hand car, 2 million won worth of it, and I told people I'm going to give you 1 billion won on the forklift if you become the successful master of this business. And nobody believed in me. And that moment, I believed that I could be successful because people are telling me I'm crazy. And now, here I am, successful leader of Atomy. So that's enough for the business story. So nowadays, I'm concerned about this issue. homosexuals. Some people say that this will be legal according to Anti-Discrimination Act. So we say homosexuality is bad, then there will be some punishment. But according to the Bible, homosexuality is sin. So on the 27th of October, I think if you are a churchgoer, you should be participating in this event. It starts from Sejonglo. It was supposed to be by Seoul Station, but we cannot accommodate 1 million people, so it will be around the Yongsan Station area, and also 1 million people online to protest against this law. So there will be 2 million Christian people having worship gathering, and this will be on the news again. And if you're against homosexuality, but if you're not going to church still, you're invited to come to this event. Imagine your daughter brings a girl and want to get married. And imagine your boy brings a boy and want to get married. You know, the problem in the advanced country, if they turn like 10 or 15 years old, then they have the self-determination right. So if your boy wants to change the gender and get married to a woman or boy, then that parents who are against this will be punished. But we should prevent this law to be enacted. I can say these things because the law has not gone into effect yet. But if this law becomes a reality, then I will be subject to punishment. I need to pay some fine. That's the reality in the US and Canada. So those pastors who are against this are being punished. So if women get married to women and men get married to men, we don't have future generation, and there's the world will collapse and there's no future for the world. So if you're a Christian, or even if you're not Christian but still you are against homosexuality, come to the event. Imagine your grandson wants to convert the gender and get married to a woman. This is really nonsense. So to prevent this from happening, we should gather all our powers to prevent this. So we'll start the event from 2 p.m. and the actual official event is from 3 p.m. Until 5 p.m. So I expect you to be there. And next Friday, at ATOMY Park, we have ATOMY Park Revival meeting. Here you can learn why you leave. You know, the biggest concern for us, of course, we need to think about our financial things and life after retirement, but we need to think about that, the second life. So you need to receive another life. So our biological life, it will be finished in 100 years. No matter how much you earn, it's no use. I'm going to die, right? For sure. I don't think you will die earlier than me, but I will be soon 70 years old. So I'm quite an old man. My father died at 86 years old. So I have like less than 20 years to live. So if you don't get the eternal life, the second life, it's no use even if you become the Imperial Master or the chairman of ATOMY. I am living in a great house, but I will be not living in that house after I die. then people will take me out from the house and be burned and put into some coffin. So the important thing is that to get the second life. That's the plan of our Creator, our God. That's His plan. So if you want to know more about this, about death and the life after this one, come to ATOMY Park next Friday. Be there by 10 a.m. It will start from 10:30. So that's it for my speech. Thank you. Please give him another big round of applause for the passionate speech. And you can meet him again in part 2 for the Success Talk Show. Absolute quality, absolute price. Now is Atomy Masters to look into Masters Atomy products. I'll give you 3 questions and answer my questions, please. The first one. What is the health supplements that can take care of immunity and improving the fatigue? Hemuhim, yeah, that's the right answer. Next, the second question. The accumulated sales revenue it went over 2 trillion won. What's this health supplement being sold at Atomy? Yeah, Hemuhim. And number 3, the last question. So in 20 countries, this health supplement that's being exported at Atomy, what's the product? Yes, the absolute product, Hemohim. We'll look into this product in more detail. Now we are going to invite the doctor, the rehabilitation department director of Jeonju Jesus Hospital, and our vice president Yun Yong Soon, who's in charge of the global product branding. Please give him a big hand. Hello everyone, I'm vice president of Atomy Yun Yong Soon. Thank you for welcoming. Now let's talk about Hemohim. Can you see the screen? Yes? Whenever I see Hemohim, I wonder what this is about. So I want to tell you the effects of Hemohim. I really wanted to have this time because when I meet people, they tell me the effects of Hemohim all differently. Some people say, oh, it cured my atopic dermatitis. And some people say, oh, I get to be pregnant from taking Hemohim. And some people say, my osteoporosis got better thanks to Hemohim. And some people say that, oh, my cancer got better from Hemohim. Do you think doctors will believe this? Whenever I hear these stories, I think like, oh, it's kind of dubious. What's the rationale behind this? So I studied about Hemohim. Why is this happening? So Hemohim has all different effects for all different people. It can help improve the immunity and improve the fatigue. That's the 2 major effects. But there are too many other effects that people say about Hemohim. So I want to tell you why is it like that. So let's talk about Hemohim. There are a lot of symptoms following degradation of immunity. So one of them is inflammation. If you have a lot of inflammation, that you will lose immunity, then it will lead to chronic inflammation. So it's like sister and brother. Inflammation and immunity is